Hello, everyone. All right. So I'm using a little different format tonight. Basically, we are going to go live here. Well, I am live. According to Restream.io, I'm live. We'll see if that's true or not. Hope everybody likes my Christmassy feel. Still working out the format. Working out the kinks. I purposely had 3 things I wanted to cover tonight. This is probably what I'm going to do for the foreseeable future. I already actually have stuff for tomorrow's show. Tomorrow, or I don't even know. It's really bad. I don't even know what day it is. That's what isolation will do to you. But I get out on Friday. Woohoo! By Friday, I think I'll be able to have an idea of the kind of schedule I want to keep. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about right out of the box, if you saw the graphic I made for YouTube, which, forgive me, I know it'll get better over time, I promise. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the trans bathroom panic. And I wanted to play a couple videos because today on TikTok there was a person that they don't identify as trans. Their name is Camo Camille. And basically, Camo is feminine, but feminine presenting, but self-identifies as a feminine or androgynous man, which is fine. But Camo used the women's restroom in Walmart. I want to share with you. We're going to move over to, I don't know. Oh, I know why that. My music went off because I'm using my phone for the music, which we can fix that, I think. But Camo basically used the bathroom in Walmart. Used the women's restroom in Walmart. There we go. So let's bring that down a bit. So anyways, Camo used the women's restroom, and I want to switch over to the browser here. Let's do this. All right. And it's important that people understand that. By the way, if you want to get a hold of me, you can use Facebook Messenger. And I've also on the live screen, I will have Google Meets if anybody is interested in having a conversation. We can do that as well. I'll bring this music way down. All right. Now I just got to get my shit together. My browser source. Where are you, browser source? Oh, there we are. All right. So I'm going to go Opera. There we go. All right. So this is Camo Camille from TikTok.
An experience I had in the ladies' restroom today at Walmart. Yes, I used the ladies' room. I'm wearing a dress and my face is beat, so no, I'm not using the men's restroom. There I was, washing my hands, getting ready to leave, when this old lady comes in and pitches a fit. This is the ladies' room. You're not a lady. I know a man when I see one. I did not know how to respond. I look at this woman like she had 7 heads. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? You're a pedophile preying on little girls. I know you. Stereotype in the butt once and for all. Gay does not mean pedophile, baby. You are stupid, scum of the earth. I like grown men. Grown men. Not little girls. Disgusting. Just like you. Disgusting. Long story short, I threw a handful of water on her and got her kicked out.
So, yeah, there were people in the comments that made a bit of noise. I made a couple TikTok videos myself because this stuff irritated the piss out of me. I don't think it's because you don't have to be trans to be a victim of anti-trans violence. Now I'm gonna play the TikTok that I made. Channel The Tea Party. I joke that I'm a binary trans woman trapped in the body of a non-binary trans woman. I know how I look. I'm trans. I'm not blind. Life didn't gift me in the trans lottery. When I transitioned in 2001, I was afraid of being confronted in the same way that Camo is being confronted here. So I used the men's restroom. In 2002, I was sexually assaulted in a restroom. A guy tried to pin me up against a stall and raped me, but when I did get away, didn't use the men's room after that. That being said, this type of harassment should not trump my actual safety. This is a video from Camo Camille, somebody I follow on TikTok.
Let me tell you about an experience I had in the ladies' restroom today at Walmart.
Respect other people's culture. So I don't understand why you took this as an opportunity.
Okay. So basically you had a bunch of people in the chat making comments about Camo, not about Camo being a man. Hold on one second. So we had basically people making transphobic comments saying, well, you're not even a trans woman. You shouldn't be in the women's restroom. Trying to bring up the video that I did. There were so many comments that were absolutely fucking awful. Let me tell you about an experience I had in the ladies' restroom today at work. I'm trying to find my video, my second video. Here it is.
Let me tell you about an experience I had in the ladies' restroom today at Walmart. Yes, I used the ladies' room. He self-identifies as an androgynous man. On my YouTube.
Oh, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Stop. The biggest problem I had with people in the chat is they were basically making the same tropes that we've seen 15 million, well, that I've been seeing since I started doing trans activism in 2002. Same shit, different fucking day.
TikTok? Let me tell you about an experience I had in the ladies' restroom today at Walmart. Yes, I used the ladies' room.
He self-identifies as an androgynous man. On my YouTube channel, The Tea Party, I joke that I'm a binary trans woman trapped in the body of a non-binary trans woman. I know how I look. I'm trans. I'm not blind.
Oh,
blind.
That's the same one. God damn it.
Life didn't gift me in the trans lottery. When I transitioned in 2000, when I transitioned in 2000,
I hate you.
At Walmart. Yes, I.
No.
and one, I was afraid of.
No. It's not this one, is it? No, that's Camo's original. Nope, that's not it. Sorry, folks. Bear with me. This is it. Let me tell you something. Now this is going to be going kind of fast because you only have 60 seconds on TikTok to post something. So that's why it's sped up. But this is it.
Experience I had in the ladies' restroom today at Walmart.
To the people in the comments talking about Camo not being trans, you don't have to be transgender to be a victim of transphobia. In 2001, Willie Houston was murdered. Willie Houston was holding a purse for his fiancée while she was going to the restroom. He was perceived as being trans. And to the people in the comments that were saying that they weren't transphobic, you don't get to decide whether you're transphobic or not. Cis people don't get to decide if they're transphobic in the same way that gay people decide who are homophobic, not straight people. Racists don't get to decide for themselves whether they're racist or not, but black people do. It's the oppressed that define phobias.
Let me tell you about an experience I had in the ladies' restroom today at Walmart.
And that's not really, I didn't really mean phobias per se, but oppression, basically. When it's isms, racism, homophobia, transphobia, misogyny. The people that are doing the oppressing don't get to decide who is or is not an oppressor. And it's fucking tiresome. Jamie J is in Twitch and is asking how we are. Good with some hiccups is well. Is what I'm posting. Basically, tonight I am using. Oh, this isn't poo. This isn't even the background I want to use. I want the Christmas one. There we go. But people are having a fit saying camo's not trans, camo shouldn't be in the women's restroom. And it's the same argument over and over and over again. And I'm sick of it. Camo is vulnerable. Camo is feminine appearing. And to be honest with you, I get so sick of people because there isn't a lot of distance. I make that comment about because in my heart of hearts, I feel like I'm a binary trans woman, but I know what I look like. I'm not, as I said, I'm not blind. I can see and I understand how I manifest in the culture. That being said, my experience is camo's, I think, prettier and more feminine than I am. But there have been things in my life that I've done because I have anxiety around bathrooms. I have literally on long road trips, I have peed in a cup and not went into the restrooms. I have held it to the point of where I've peed myself because I didn't want to go into restrooms. I've been in women's restrooms and felt so anxious about it that I stayed into the stall until I heard everyone leave. There are consequences from having that kind of focus around urination. Oh, well, there's more. Nick says I can attest to the cup. Not with you in the car, but I would have really bad anxiety when it comes to peeing and restroom usage. And you really have to think about it. As a trans person like me, you have to think about it all the time. Where are you going to stop? Does the place have, is it a single bathroom? Or, I mean, there's just so many things that give me anxiety about the whole thing. And so I'm just like, when it comes to this, I'm really protective of someone like Camo. They're not trans, but like I said in the TikTok, Willie Houston wasn't trans and he was murdered. So he was murdered because somebody perceived him as being trans. So I mean, the things that the anxiety that trans people go through, trans people like me go through, it's not just how we feel. There are things that can affect our lives, can affect our health. You can have bladder issues. You can have bladder tears. You can have all kinds of medical issues surrounding it. So it just really upsets me when people are so focused on this mythical like boogeyman that doesn't exist. I mean, I know I've been a victim of someone attempted to rape me in a bathroom. That's why I don't use men's restrooms anymore, and I haven't since about 2002. I'm not going to put myself in that at risk that way. And people are so focused on Camo's genitals, but not Camo's sexual orientation, which he self-identifies as gay, and doesn't want to have anything to do with women or little girls. I mean, it's just absurd. And there's no reason for people to be that way with I don't care if you're trans or not. People like that are gender variant and that are visibly like me, visibly trans or just androgynous or NB, whatever, however your life experience manifests itself. If you're anything else, if you're not cisgender, visibly, your performance, your gender performance isn't normative, you are going to be attacked. It's a threat. So when people like talk about this mythical trans person that's going to invade a bathroom, I mean, the whole thing is just, I can say it over and over again. I mean, I've been saying this for 18 fucking years. People are not going to use trans rights to get into a bathroom. There people that are going to objectify women, that are going to objectify them to the point of going into a bathroom to and see them as sexual beings, don't see them as people. They're not going to become them to have access. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. So, yeah, that happened today, and it irritated the piss out of me. The second thing that I want to talk about is how we've gone back to, I call it the Obama's tan suit scandals. I want to play something. Let's see if I can find it. This is from The Daily Show. Fun fact, Jamie J. Fun fact. What's this? Ooh, wow. I can show things. I'm liking this. Let me know if you guys can see that over the chat. because I see Jamie's little post. Anyways, I'm getting distracted by my own my own technology. All right. That's awesome. I like it. Where am I going? Okay. I will get better at this, I promise. No, I don't. No, I don't. So we've had pretty much a monster in the White House. And the stuff that's been going into the news has been pretty outrageous. Yeah, I'm not paying for that. So this is what we get now that Biden's going to be coming in. I personally call it the Obama's tan suit problem. I was going to play this part of this. Actually, we'll put the closed captioning on. So essentially, these are things that were during the Obama administration that were scandals. Oh, darn it. Hold on. Let's see if I can. The only problem is I can't get rid of it. Sorry, I'm learning how to do this. It's cool. I will play the audio. Let's see if I can play the audio.
A couple of Marines for umbrella duty. Many people complain, saying Marines have been through too much training to have to hold an umbrella.
This shot of the president emerged. President Obama hiding under an umbrella. Hit the airwaves yesterday. Look at that Marine standing so erect.
It was a symbolic moment today when the Marines came out and put the umbrella. They were protecting him. Maybe in this case, he should have been protecting them.
Is there a more apt visual than this one? The disembodied arm of a U.S. Marine holding an umbrella over the head of our beleaguered commander-in-chief for him in the middle of a rainstorm.
The Marines aren't supposed to do that because they can't properly salute.
What is now being called Umbrella Gate.
The blog Hot Air is demanding justice for the Marines. These guys aren't valets.
I mean, I guess he could have held it himself, right?
I don't know.
Yes, bring forth the umbrellas unto me.
American flag pin is standard accessory for just about every politician and candidate in the country these days, but not Barack Obama.
He stayed in Johnson County to give a speech in Iowa City, and he wasn't wearing an American flag pin.
I mean, I guess he could have held it himself.
Barack Obama won't wear an American flag lapel pin.
A reporter for ABC's Cedar Rapids affiliate was the first to notice.
Asked him about the flag pin. He didn't have really good answers.
A no pin zone.
You're taking the pin, the American flag off of you and saying, I'm not going to wear it, almost in a little bit of a protest, I guess.
I think he's disrespecting the American flag.
He's got to apologize to the people, for example, that are working the fields. There were Marines, were in the Army.
It matters something to our troops.
Why do we wear pins? Because our country was under attack.
Barack, put on the pin.
Put on the pin, Barack.
Well, President Obama and the First Lady are taking their tradition of date night on the road this weekend. The first couple are heading for New York.
They went out to dinner and they went to see a Broadway show, and they had a extravagant date night. Date night. Date night. Date night.
They took a small Gulfstream jet.
They're also using Marine One, which cost about $20,000 an hour.
Traffic is stopped, as you can see. The show waited.
So it's just more and more of this, more and more of the bullshit that doesn't matter, that is essentially no one cares. Oh, I don't know if you can see that now. Anyways, essentially, there's been all kinds of what would you call it? Controversies that weren't controversies at all. It's just bullshit. And this latest is in the Wall Street Journal, where basically, let's see, not, as Jamie says, non-traversies. Yeah, exactly. They are non-traversies. They are essentially, let's skip this ad. They are essentially just everything. I mean, the Saudi bows, and you can say all this different stuff. They literally are just not controversies. They're not. They're drumming up things. Fox News for 4 years didn't do any of that because of who was president. But apparently they're going to start back doing it now. So, shocker there, I know. But basically, my biggest thing isn't so much that it's just the media, like Fox News. Literally, there's a piece in the Hill. Because essentially, what it boils down to is that the Wall Street Journal posted this. Is there a doctor in the White House? Not if you need an MD. Because Jill Biden is a doctor of education. And literally, I mean, CNN actually did cover some of the controversy, and there were people that did give him hell for it. This Joseph Epstein argued that Jill Biden should drop the honorific because she is not a medical doctor, but rather earned a doctorate in education. How just ignorant do you have to be, and common do you have to be to make that type of argument? Basically, that most people aren't going to know the difference between doctorates. And that when somebody says they're a doctor of education or that they're not a medical doctor, it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. And the fact that where did this come from? It's not as if they're making I haven't heard anyone making a claim that because she's a doctor that she's going to help win the problems with COVID over, but with her knowledge of being a doctor. No one's pushed that. Jamie, you know I'm going to put all your fun facts up. Jamie says, fun fact, Joseph Epstein once wrote an article defending the use of various homophobic and racist slurs by white cishets. Shocking. And the person that is the editorial page editor published a response on Sunday about the criticisms. If you disagree with Mr. Epstein, fair enough. Write a letter or shout your objections on Twitter. But these pages aren't going to stop being public. They aren't going to stop publishing provocative essays merely because they offend the new administration or the political censors in the media and academia. Oh, so you're going to practice misogynistic yellow journalism, and you're proud of it because you haven't done the same thing to men. You haven't done the same to oh, I just it amazes me how quickly that these people have went back to doing the same thing that they were doing before Donald Trump. The same exact shit. There was a fellow on Twitter called Sigmundine user said, I know that the Epstein op-ed regarding Dr. Jill Biden's degree has been a big topic. I found this on Facebook from a woman who took a class with him. Quite telling. And this person's name is Maureen O'Connor. She said, I've briefly noted on some friends' threads, but it's worth posting a full account. When I was at Northwestern as an undergraduate, I took a required class with Joseph Epstein. He constantly jingled the change and keys in his pocket and told us not to bother complaining about it, as all his students did. He didn't care. He told us rather proudly he never lay awake at night worrying about the future of the blue whale. He never called on the women in class and spent most of the class talking about how amazing he is. I imagine he would use the verb regale, clearly thinking he would have been welcomed at the Alcuin round table. There was one brave woman who insisted on talking. He ignored her. He rang me in my apartment on a weekend after we turned in our final essays, demanding to know who had written the essay for me. He asked me several questions about Joyce, about whom I'd written, and kept asking me how I knew this or that. When I started to cry, he said I was getting hysterical and hung up. I asked a couple of professors who knew me and my work to intervene. He got back to me to say I seemed to have gotten my little boyfriends to speak to him. I was younger than my years and terrified, ignorant of how to stand up for myself. I got the paper back with a C and one sentence comment. This is an A paper, but you and I know why I can't give you an A. This is the kind of jackass that this person is. So, shocking. But what surprises me is just how quickly, he's not even president yet, and how quickly they've jumped into the non-story, the non-controversy. And it literally is even from the Hill. Wall Street Journal opinion editor defends op-ed, she can't be off limits. The funny thing is that men aren't off limits, or are off limits when it comes to this kind of thing. They're never. And people below it actually call it out right as it is. That wasn't the primary objection to the piece. It's a total red herring. No one's saying she's off limits, but what they are saying is that being a doctor has nothing to do with it. So yeah, I'm not surprised, but and here we are, still going with the scandals. This is the tan suit, Tangate. Do you remember those days when we had Tangate? Oh, Lou Dobbs talking about low poll numbers for a guy that never got off 50%. So, yeah. Anyways, next topic. I'm going to talk about TERFs, a specific TERF. Julie Burchill, everyone's favorite TERF. So I'm trying to find. Oh, by the way, this is a percentage of post-secondary degrees received by women from the 1970s to 2010. Huh. So I wonder why these guys suddenly it's not it's these degrees aren't worth as much as they used to be back in the day. Oh dear. So there's a fella that writes for The Spectator. His name's Rod Liddle. Some people might recognize him from being the person that said if he had sex with a trans woman, he would vomit. And he actually was arrested for assaulting his girlfriend. And he still has a job with The Spectator. And Owen Jones, who has been pretty much taking The Spectator to task. He criticized The Spectator for platforming literal Nazis. And they give this guy a platform. And this was what he said. I never found out because the one thing stopping me from being a teacher was that I could not remotely conceive of not trying to shag the kids, wrote The Spectator contributor Rod Liddle in the 2012 article. It seemed to me virtually impossible not to. And I was convinced that I'd be right in there on day one. We're talking secondary school level here, by the way. At my old comprehensive school, a few of the teachers were known to be shufting up to the pupils. One of them, a female teacher who was extremely foxy in a pot noodle scuzzy kind of way, she copped off with some fifth form lad, and another teacher, a man with a guitar and a faux rebellious attitude, gained the affections of an extremely attractive fourth form girl, Liddle wrote. So the guy is basically peddling in pedophilia, essentially. Now you'll have these people that will say, "Oh, it's irony," and this is the same kind of crap that the IDW crowd will spout. Some random geeks in the chat saying, "Hello, lads, lasses, and non-binary badasses." Welcome, some random geek. And this guy is, like I said, he's pretty much a shithead. I mean, he says this kind of thing. And this is the kind of platform that The Spectator is in the UK. So Rod Liddle made this comment, and I'm not sure if you all know about who Julie Burchill is, but she's a transphobe, and she is pretty loud about it. Here's Rod Liddle. Here's a picture of the guy. Seems like a nice fella. The man once wrote about how the idea of sex with a trans woman makes him want to project a vomit. Just wrote a piece saying he'd fuck children if he were a teacher. This is your British media for you. But a person that came to his rescue today was Julie Burchill. And she did it in the most really ugly fucking way. She went after Ash Sarkar of Novara Media, spouting Islamophobic bullshit. Let's see. I did have the tweet up here. Let's see if I can bring it up. Because Julie is trending on Twitter. Oh, shit. By the way, if you want to chit chat, Facebook Messenger, you can message me or you can call me on Facebook Messenger. But Julie Burchill is trending on Twitter. Oh no, I don't even want to. Some of this stuff I don't even want to look. Now Assange, I know why. Ben Shapiro is trending as well. Let's see. Okay, so Julie Burchill posts, "Can you please remind me of the age of the Prophet Muhammad's first wife? Thank you in anticipation." Because Ash posted this. Also, he writes he wouldn't have dabbled much below year 10. That's referring to 14 and 15-year-olds. That's still child sexual abuse, and it's astonishing that both he and his editor thought guffawing about hypothetically being a pedophile made for a good article. That is your British media. That is your British media. And I mean, this is Julie Burchill has a history of saying really awful stuff. Shortly after starting her weekly column for the Times, she referred to George Galloway, but appeared to confuse him with former MP Ron Brown, reporting the misdeeds of Brown as those of Galloway. He incited Arabs to fight British troops in Iraq. She apologized in her column, and the Times paid damages thought to have been £50,000. In 2006, the Times dropped her Saturday column and arranged a more flexible arrangement. Later, it was revealed she was given the jolly heave-ho at the Times and paid off for the last year of her 3-year contract, still receiving $300,000 she would have earned if she would have been obliged to provide copy. She said, "I was totally taking the piss. I didn't spend much time on them, and they were such arrogant crap." But she declared in 2005, after Ariel Sharon's withdrawal of Israeli troops or settlers from the Gaza Strip, that Israel is the only country I'd fucking die for. He's the enemy of the Jews, chucking his own people off the Gaza. To me, that's disgusting. And she just keeps on going. In January of 2013, she defended Susan Moore after a reference by Moore to transsexuals had been greeted with a great deal of criticism. And this is when Suzanne Moore referred to Brazilian transsexuals. In Burchell's view, it showed the chutzpah of the transsexuals to have their cock cut off and then plead special privileges as a woman. There were a number of objections to her writing from the members of the transgender community and non-transgender community alike. The Observer, John Mulholland, the editor, responded many emails protesting about this piece and stated he would look into the issue. Some people called for dismissal. The article was removed from the website the following day and replaced with a message from Mulholland, but it reappeared on the Telegraph website. Oh. So she's a piece of work. So yeah, but it's not surprising that oh, and here, yeah, of course, Julie Burchell will use the bigoted straw man to defend Rod Liddle's Shag the Kids column. But this is British media. They will platform people that are just the most vile, just gross people. I mean, Julie Burchell actually said, when the sex war is won, prostitutes should be shot as collaborators for the terrible betrayal of all women. So she's a TERF, she's a serf, and she's Islamophobic. But that isn't anything new. I mean, there's this person, Joni Walsh, who has worked for the Times and the Daily Mail. And I mean, if you go through her she defends Tommy Robinson. Here we go. And here's another example of transphobes going off on and this Julie Raven is Julie Burchell. What a vile religion Islam is, not just Islamism, just Islam. I'm a religious woman and I know Judaism, especially Christianity, Sikhism, they moved society on so much. To me, Islam is on par with Satanism. Yeah, because I guess math is Satanism, right? She's so vile. And then what did she do after this kerfuffle? She deactivated. She deleted her Twitter. But she's not the only one. This Joni Walsh has made the same kind of Islamic comments. Joni Walsh, my lovely Muslim neighbor asked me to go around today. Bit put out, to be honest. I normally don't have to go down the patio and stick my arms over the fence to grab whatever curry she's made or platter of fruit she's peeled and diced for me. This time it was a baby she had for me, her eldest daughter. Now, I have never actually seen her daughter, even though I went to her wedding because she wears a burqa. She's so beautiful. I couldn't decide whether it's a shame that the world is deprived of her face or whether it actually does make it feel like a gift when they're revealed with such exception that it feels like privilege. And just then I ruined it by asking if she tore and telling them about the story I'd just filed about the transgender, comparing a feminist campaigner to foul smelling discharge at the end of his dilator when he removes it from his crusty neo-vagina made from his balls and bum. They gave me a big tray of Ferrero Rocher and I left. So apparently hating Muslims and TERFism go together. So yeah, and it's not anything new. It's not anything new at all. This is the British media at its worst. That being said, in a bit of good news, I didn't post this because it came in a bit late, but there's been a petition. Yeah, Jamie J. It's unbelievable, but it's true. The LGB Alliance basically is a hate group that is trying to divide the T and the LGB. It's an anti-trans group. But there's been a petition. Thousands of LGBT plus people and their allies have signed a petition calling for the UK press to stop giving an uncritical platform to LGB Alliance. Referring the wide-ranging condemnation the group has courted, whether from top pride organizations to trade unions, as well as the ballooning rate of transphobic hate crimes, the petition has seen more than 47,000 or 4,700 people call for the press to stop platforming LGB Alliance. Founders of the LGB Alliance have defended work with the anti-trans, anti-LGBT plus and anti-abortion Heritage Foundation, as well as refusing to denounce its neo-Nazi and homophobic supporters, despite it seeking to position itself as an LGBT rights group. Yeah. So at least people are being called out, and I would suggest people go and sign that petition. It's on change.org. UK media stop uncritically platforming LGB Alliance hate group. Oh, now it's up to 5,800. So David Paisley is the person that has started this petition. Very, very nice. So yeah. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is this essay from Mona El-Tahawy. If you do not subscribe to Feminist Giant, you should. This is titled Dear Eighth Grader. Dear 8th grader, I'm writing to you because I want to interrupt the patriarchy before it socializes you to become the white woman who interrupts the black woman so that the white man can speak. I looked you up to make sure, but I knew that you were a white girl when the moderator read your question at the end of the vice presidential debate between Senator Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence. How did I know? Well, I knew you were a girl because patriarchy so successfully grooms girls to be polite, well behaved, not make a scene or raise a voice or speak too much, that when you grow up and a man disrespects them, they will keep thanking him. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. And never once dare to tell him to shut the fuck up or else just stop talking. And there is certainly a hierarchy of womanhood by which the white moderator can slip and call Senator Harris Kamala Harris, and never once slip and call Vice President Mike Pence. I've been waiting for you, 8th grader, ever since I wrote my second book, The 7 Necessary Sins for Women and Girls. I have been working on a curriculum with a girl like you in mind. I did not know when my book came out last year, of course, but I designed my curriculum on Rage for Girls because I wanted to find girls before patriarchal fuckery does. I'm writing you to let you know that if you let your whiteness trump your gender, Mike Pence will still disrespect you. White supremacist patriarchy, you will learn, will throw you some crumbs and promise to protect you from patriarchy that is not white, but you must know this: nothing will protect you from whichever patriarchy groomed you. Did you not notice how Pence devoted most of his answer to the question on foreign policy, to how Trump regime avenged the rape and murder of Kayla Mueller, a white American woman, by violent brown men of ISIS? So, and it goes on, and it's just a really great piece on patriarchy and how it impacts women and how basically men are treated differently. And it's a really good read. She ends by saying, polite and well-behaved girls do not terrify the patriarchy. We must terrify the patriarchy. And I love her. Mona Eltahawy is, I mean, she had both her arms broken in the uprising in Egypt. And she still speaks out. It kills me when white feminists try to go after her, being like, who are you, blah 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 blah. And she's just like, I put my body on the line. So anyways, I encourage you to go read that. I just realized tonight that I didn't ask you. This is a question whenever anybody new comes in the room, I'm going to ask. Coffee or tea? Which do you like? And what kind of tea do you like? I hope you all are having a good holiday. I am in a really weird place. This is real talk now. I'm gonna bring this back up. I'm using Restream. I'm using OBS, but I'm using it through Restream. And I do like this, so I'll probably continue to do it, but I have to work things out. But I enjoy doing this. but I have been self-isolating because I was put on a COVID ward when I on a recent hospital visit. So I've had to self-isolate. I can't go to work. I can't go outside my flat. It's just so I've been working on this. I'm gonna try to get on a schedule next week, and I'll be putting that on the website. Try to get a little bit things worked out a little bit better, a little bit more fluid. But I'm gonna do this probably 3 nights a week, maybe 2. I haven't decided yet. But I want to continue to do it because it's something I enjoy. I have the technology, I have the equipment. In fact, tomorrow I have another camera coming. And I'm really excited. I'm going to stop commenting these. I'm just going to put them up in the chat. I'm going to put them up over. That is funny. But, Restream. Restream allows you to stream live to over 30 social platforms at once. I don't know what that is. But we can put different graphics up. Huh. And the technology is I'm having a good time. So I'm going to continue to try to do this. I'm going to continue to try to be on every night because I like doing this, and it gives me focus, and it gives, especially during COVID, it gives me something to point myself towards, and I like doing it. I hope at some point we can get enough people to come and have these conversations with more than just me talking, but honestly, I don't give a shit. I'll come on here and talk every night by myself, but I would hope that people would invite a friend. Have people come over and take part in the conversation. I'll usually have 2 to 3 topics in a night. At some point, hopefully we'll have guests, but right now I just want to focus on getting my set together and kind of having an idea of how this is all going to go down, so we can continue to do it in a way that is entertaining and fun, and but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for if you guys don't have anything else you want to talk about, I'm going to head on out. I'm going to finish this up. It's 10 o'clock, so that's an hour running time for now. That's okay. Thank you all for coming. Yeah. Take care, everybody.